on to Malin. Glascott from a standing kick up towards centre half forward he goes. Clark will get a free kick. David Clark, Dishburn calling for it, he leads. Marcus there, Dishburn gets it, he needs support, drops it, goes out towards Malthouse. He has a fit of the fumbles, there's no support there for Malthouse, does it beautifully, in towards centre half back and finds Preston,
who beats off Fitzpatrick, goes long, up towards Cloak and Southby. Southby slipped over, gets into his back. No free. Oh, that might be a free down ground to Bartlett. Still not paid. Duel. Carlton a bit lucky to get out of trouble then.
But they're not out of trouble, Tim. The free kick will go to Kevin Bartlett, 25 metres out, straight in front. And I've no doubt the decision was correct. Bartlett was in front. And his opponent tripped him, and the umpire, James, saw it, picked it up. And Richmond have a chance to get away to a lead of 8 points because this little fellow has kicked as many goals as anybody else in a career of football in finals. Adds another one to his total. And Richmond now lead 14 points to 6. 7.5 minutes gone, first quarter.
First quarter, 8 minutes in. And the Tigers lead by 14 points to 6 out towards Rioli. Glascott puts his body in front nicely. Rioli tumbles to the ground, but Glascott's going to get the free kick at centre half back. And 15 metres. Waste of time there by the Tigers. Glascott out looking for McClure. Ashman. Oh, Rains. Rollings tidies up nicely. Big leap by Rains. Roach being paid. Yes. Between wing and half forward. Plays on. He's got to go back. Richmond 2-2. Carlton 1 goal. 8.5 minutes in the first quarter. Cloak, his target. Wiley the crumbs if needed. But the mark taken by English and the handball away to McConville.
He drops it short but doesn't place it terribly well. Ashman in the van. Pressure from Rollings. And a free kick to Rollings. Ashman not attempting to dispose. Rollings at half forward. Up towards Bartlett. Out of bounds. On the full. Boundary umpire right on the scene. Called it well for Carlton. McConville takes the free.
Short passes and finds Malin. He's on the half-back flank. Maybe a little bit nearer the back pocket. Kicks it to Austin, who's on his own now. He is on the true half-back flank. Kicks towards centre wing. Lee, Fitzpatrick. Nobody really went for it, but by G. Lee's doing well in the battles between the two of them. The ball's kicked towards half-forward line. It's another mark to Roach. And this is the fellow that's going to cause some trouble to the defence of the Blues. Good move by Francis Burke early in the game to put Cloak at full forward and Roach at centre half forward because it's working. And this fellow will make the distance. Oh, look at the direction the goal umpire hasn't moved. And Richmond go to 3 goals too. And the Carlton 1 goal. 10 minutes gone. First quarter.
First term. 10.5 minutes in. The Tigers off to a flying start by 20 points to 6. Preston. Good tackle on Preston. Goes to Klomp, and the free kick going to Malin for that good tackle. Austin onto Glascott. Yes, nicely done. Glascott gets a good bounce. Over to Sheldon. Doesn't get a good bounce. Punched away by the Tigers defence. Safe and sound out of bounds. Richmond 3-2-20. Carlton 1 goal. 11 minutes first quarter.
The Giants. Good duel so far too. Sheldon. Rains in attendance. And Wood in the way. Well, the Tigers are really looking $1 million at the moment. Up to half forward, but out comes English. Awkward bounce. Good dive by Roach. Got the body in and won the free kick. And Perovic is in terrible trouble at the moment. He's been outmarked twice and gave away the free then. Up towards Cloak again. Almost. Yes. Well, Southby got a hand on it at one stage, but the umpire satisfied that Cloak was always in control. And a chance for Richmond's 4th goal. The first one came at the 4-minute mark, so a goal here would mean 4 in 8 minutes. Cloak kicked the first, in fact, to get the ball rolling for Richmond. That's his second, right through the middle. And Richmond are really bouncing into Carlton in the opening minutes. They lead by 20 points.
12 and a half minutes gone first quarter. 26 points to 6 in favour of the Tigers. A scuffle will find a bounce up by umpire James. Carlton little fellows, other than Ashman, are almost unsighted up to this stage very early in the game. Lee, but no decisive knockdown. Malin got it out well. But there's one of the fellas who's doing well, and that was Rains. Got the ball out the Malthouse. He's kicked it wide to the flank. We'll find Williams out there. He's on the centre wing, turns around, gets his left foot to it. Not well directed. It's up towards the forward line, knocked away towards Glasgow. Preston is there. So is Big Mark Lee. Up, but he missed. Kicked off the ground and cancer Glasgow. Beautifully out to Marku. He's into the open. A beautiful lead, but chipping in and marking well is Emmett Dunn.
On patrol at centre half-back, Dunn. Out wide looking for Lee. Fitzpatrick out there too. Marku the crumbs if required. Lee outnumbered. Nicely done. Over the top. Glascott. Oh, into trouble. All sorts of diabolical. Duel. McClure behind the pack. Oh, nearly a screamer. Landing. Up towards half-forward. Player being held. No. McConville backed his judgment. Wiley out wide. A chance here for Roach once again. Oh, good tackle. The crumbs by Bartlett, fires and just misses. What a frantic passage of play. Richmond 4-3-27, Carlton 1 goal, 14 minutes in the first quarter.
Well, the pressure the Tigers are applying is almost frightening. Perovic. Williams up in front. Good attempt. It's been no play on. Thought he'd been painted for the moment. Harms, first touch of the ball, finds Sheldon, and now Carlton finding some space, which is the game they like. Sheldon to half forward, nicely for Clark. Oh, didn't go for it. Klopp.
Southby off, Tim.
Is it the hamstring or is he being taken off?
I'm not sure. He's limping just fractionally, but it could be the hamstring.
McClure tried to take it out of the air. Stack of players. Waitman. Beautiful thump. Oh, umpire, you might get him. You're going to turn him round? No. Come back. The umpire won't let that get away. Waitman gives it back. You still can't do it. You've got to come back to where the mark is. Lee will take that free kick. 15-metre penalty against Fitzpatrick. Well, Fitz is a little bit frustrated at the moment in my book because I think he's receiving a little bit more than what he anticipated from Big Mark Lee in ability and agility and mobility. There's the kick out wide to the half-forward flank. Easy mark. Curly Austin gives it across to McConville.
Out towards Glascott. Preston after him. Glascott at number 2-1. Does it well. Infringed. Yes, we'll get the free kick. Well played, Glascott. He works hard for his kicks. Kick number 4 to Glascott. Half-back flank. Clark is down there, but he won't go for it. Hunter, nearly. No mark paid. Rains over the top. Who to? No man's land to Rawlings. A nice tap across. Rioli does it beautifully. Rioli on the wing. Gets a call from Lee. Lee has time to steady up. No, he goes for the hand pass to Roach. On towards Waitman. Open goal. 30 metres out. Fires. The Tigers' 5th goal.
English. Left foot. David Clark has the ball knocked away by Kane. Preston into McConville. Clark battles hard for it. Rioli. Good play by Wiley. Out to Lee. Out to Rioli. Rioli steadies, gets his right foot to it, back towards the forward line. The ball thumped away by English towards Malin. He gives a long hand pass successfully. That's pretty good play. It went out to Sheldon, who drives down towards half forward, but chipping into mark well is the constable himself, Emmett Dunn, and Preston's in trouble.
Yes, and Williams just off the ground, replaced by Welsh for the Tigers. Out wide to Kane. Well, McClure's got a chance here. No support for the handball. He's got to do it himself and wrong foot himself, in fact. Dribbling out to Ditchburn, a kilometre away from goal, and he's been carried off. Andy Preston. Marku been very quiet today. Dunn in front of the pack, one-handed. At least he deflected it away. Strawn. Dunn does the heavy work in front of the pack. Rawlings. Preston off the ground. Rawlings now from half-back. Up towards Bartlett at half forward. On the chest, heavy. Doesn't waste any time. Inboard towards Cloak. Welsh the crumbs. Wiley, open goal. 10 metres out and slams it through. It's got to go back. It's going to be a free kick to Richmond all the same. To be taken by David Cloak.
But I've seen other passages today when they've let the free kick go on.
Andy Preston in trouble with a knee or an ankle. Williams off the ground, and Peter Welsh, a bit of mobility and strength back on the ground for the Tigers, as if they need it. And speaking of strength, here's the strong man, David Cloak, dead in front, 30 metres out. The Tigers lead by 35, 12 minutes into this third term. He's kicked it straight. That's goal number 5 to David Cloak. 5 goals won. And the Tigers lead by 41 points.
So it's back to the status quo. 1 goal each in this third quarter. Richmond by 41 points after 13 minutes. Wood's been a sensation. Rains. Cloak and Perovic one out. Bartlett. There's another one. Bartlett's third. He and Cloak have kicked 8 between them. And the Tigers go further ahead. They lead by 47 points.
Nearly 14 minutes gone, and Richmond goes further ahead in this third quarter, 83 to 36. Free kick Richmond's way. It'll go to Little Waitman. Gets away from the centre. Hand pass goes out towards Kane. He drives to the forward pocket. Cloak is there. Ball will probably beat him. It does. Cloak has kicked 5 goals for Richmond and Bartlett 3. That's not bad. 8 out of the 12. Throw in. Out in the forward pocket. Roach and Dool. Rolling's got the kick. Back towards the forward line. An easy mark. No, it's no mark. Play on. Thought it was a mark to Perovic. There's a chance the ball has come back to Wood. His hand pass came out to Rains. A left foot snap by Rains. Oh, they're cooking with gas at VFL Park.
And Martello just popping it short to Landy. To Dunn. Call from Wiley inside, but the big fellow says he's quite capable of doing it. Rioli missed the mark. Hunter. Clark. Ashman. Oh, it was a bad hand pass. Rains. Carlton had an attacking move all set up then, but they flummed it. Up to half forward. Bounces for English. Threads it to Austin. Now Fitzpatrick. 2 of them out there, Ashman and Glasgow. Ashman with the chance for the Blues.
Gets a left foot pass to it, looking for McConville. Ball steers away from him. There's Martello, kicking it down towards that half-forward line. It bounces away from Fitzpatrick. Back into it is Wood. Passes away, but Dool picks it up. Passes it beautifully to Ditchburn, and he grabbed it this time. Gave a hand pass to Molan. He goes straight for the open goals, and it looks good. That's what Carlton needs, about 6 of those to be in it.
Third quarter, 25 minutes in, and the Tigers by 47 points. Sheldon, play on, it was touched off the boot. McClure out of the pack. Ditchburn, Martello, Harms might get the run of the ball. Open goal, 20 metres out, fires and kicks it. Carlton's second goal in 40 seconds.
26 minutes gone. The crowd making a bit of noise, sensing a possible Carlton revival. Good knock by Jones, who's just come back on. Rollings. Out to Rioli was good play. On the wrong boot and didn't kick so well. Roach. Mark or free kick. Mark paid. But he's not quite up on the true half-forward line. A long, long way out from goal. Tigers looking for the retaliatory goal.
Got a lead from Cloak. Bartlett's there to snaffle it. Gets his left foot to it. Plenty of Carlton players there. Jones knocks it away. Oh, gee, that could have been classed as a throw, but it wasn't. Oh, gee, they're fumbling a bit. Look at that Wood go in. He has completely eclipsed Harms today, Wood has. Harms has been taken off him, put down the forward line, and Wood has been a great player for Richmond today. It's going to be a bounce-up by the look of things. 2 minutes gone in the time one period in the third quarter, and Richmond lead 97 to 56.
Tigers by 41 points. Left forward pocket, about 35 metres out from goal. Cloak and Jones, Clomp, through the pack nicely, but lost his footing. English, straight out of bounds. It was touched, apparently. He was lucky. Good boundary umpiring, that. Came off his boot like a rocket. Now Roach and Jones. Jones, the better judgment behind. Watched the flood of the ball better. Sheldon ducked his head. Plays over the top and a ball up, rightly so. Almost 28 minutes, third quarter. The Tigers are led by 40 points at half-time, lead by 41 at the moment.
Jones and Roach. Well done, Roach. Well played, Jones. Lovely shepherd for English. Made the little corridor. Knocked by Strawn. He also got into the back of McClure, who takes a free kick. Kane it was, the offender. Onto Malin, who's been a pretty fair player. Good battler for Carlton. Up towards Ditchburn, who's a long way down. Now the chance for the Blues. Over the top is McConville, but oh, he should have hand passed, not kicked. And away go the Tigers. Williams hasn't placed it too well, though it's all Carlton. Oh, shocking bounce for Clomp, but he's good enough. Sheldon, now a chance for the Blues again. This is the caper they like. Up towards McConville, who's got the sit. Dunn wearing him like a glove. Good spoil. Throw in.
Dunn's played well on that half-back line for Richmond.
I tell you what, Ian, I don't think Ditchburn's got the skills to be so far up the ground. He should be back towards the goal area.
Yes, it might be fair comment. Look at this big lead. Doing well. Got the ball out. Kicked it up towards the centre. Bounces beautifully for this fella who can make it bounce because he's so good. Hunter. He kicks it down towards the front line, but has done again. By gee, he's doing a great job down there. He's arresting everything that comes that way.
Although Carlton's disposal on that occasion was absolutely atrocious. Almost schoolyardish. Rains at the rollings. Back to Rains in trouble. Caught by Ashman. Play on. Ashman was legged. No free kick. I'd go crook too, Fitzy, if I was you. 29.5 minutes, third quarter. Richmond 97, Carlton 56. A free kick to Fitzpatrick.
It's about the only kicks he's had all day, the free kicks he's got from his opponents.
About 50 metres out from goal, Ditchburn leads. Now McClure's dropping back. Harms to the far pocket for one off the side of his boot. But McClure, if the ball doesn't make it, Carlton's best marking bet. Plenty of depth. Now it's going to drop just a tick short, I think. Oh, Hunter! Where did he come from? The Tigers lead by 41. That's his 7th mark. Right on three-quarter time, and he pops it through for Carlton's 9th goal.
And the Blues did rally after being 55 points down at one stage in the third quarter. Eventually went under by a slightly flattering 23 points. 65,600 saw it, and it was just about that 1980 qualifying final all over again. Cloak at full forward kicked 5 goals. Veteran Kevin Bartlett 3, 2 each to Waitman and Wood for the Tigers. For Carlton, 4 to Ditchburn, 2 each to Buckley and McClure. But the Tigers have come out of it with some injury problems. Malthouse with a very heavily strapped shoulder after the match, and he must be in doubt for the grand final. Preston, a hamstring, must also be in doubt, and Jeff Rains with a groin problem, and that could be a niggler too. So perhaps Richmond with some worries despite the greatness of that win. Well, Tiger coach Francis Burke took up the reins at Punt Road this year, knowing that nothing short of the ultimate success would be tolerated. He replaced Tony Jewell, who had been Burke's coach 2 seasons earlier when the Tigers won the flag. A bad year for Richmond in 1981 cost Jewell his job. Burke was a tough, uncompromising player, and he carries those attributes into his coaching role. I remember him remonstrating with an umpire in the last quarter of the 1980 grand final for paying a mark to Collingwood's Barham when Burke felt the mark was his. At the time, the Tigers led by 80 points. He coaches that way too. And when I spoke to him after what was undoubtedly the best win of his coaching career, he was happy, but not about to leave the job half done.
Well, it was certainly, the result was up to my hopes and expectations. I thought we'd win today, and had a good feeling all the week, and I suppose there are aspects of our game which I thought we could have been better at, and still that gives us something to work on. We've got no cause for sitting back, because it's only now a stepping stone to hopefully number one. But all in all, I suppose it's great to be in the grand final.
The early pressure your players applied was tremendous. Was that what your master plan was all about?
Oh, well, I mean, they were planning to put pressure on us too, no doubt. So it was pretty even early. We got the breaks up forward, and that ultimately made the difference. We just had too big a lead for them to peg us back, Tim, and I just thought that we set the mood for the day early.
It still looked a very typical Richmond finals performance, though, full of pressure, workmanlike. What is it about Richmond that produces these great performances when it counts?
Oh, I think it's a question of degree of want, I suppose, Tim. You know, we've copped a fair caning this year, and you know, we've really had to show everyone that we can play football, and we've virtually had to reprove ourselves again after the debacle of 1981, following on from 1980, of course. And I think there's been, well, I think the fortunes last year and the disappointment that followed has worked in our favour this year, and it's culminated in a feeling that's made us pretty determined in the big games and also today.
Your reshaped forward line with Cloak at full forward and Roach at centre-half forward. What was your thinking?
Oh, we just we were forced into it to some extent by Taylor not coming up, and we just thought that David might worry the Carlton defence at full forward, and we thought also that Michael Roach's agility and athleticism might be a problem for their defence at centre-half forward, and I'm happy to say that to a certain extent both moves worked.
And your small men seem to totally decimate Carlton's smaller brigade, which was a surprise to many of us. Were you surprised?
Oh, well, I mean, I was surprised that they won so handsomely, put it that way. I didn't expect it to be an overwhelming result, and I think it speaks volumes for those boys who played on the ball, the Barry Rollingses and the Dale Waitmans, the Robbie Wiley. They all played very good games and were important players today for us.